Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching the Big Man Favorite. This is the 21st episode of the 8th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for the link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in, and enjoy. So last episode, 20, was the first time that Amy actually stayed over in the apartment. Yes, interestingly, it's not how you envisage the staying over to take place, but, it's another small step in their relationship. And they was building a fort together. They was having a great time, and obviously it was date night. So it hit 10 o'clock, the alarm was going off. She was like, look, it's time for me to go now. Sheldon was like, wait, we're having fun. How about we extend date night, the parameters for tonight? Maybe you could stay over. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll stay out here underneath the fort, not in the bedroom, but this will be the first step in our relationship for obviously maybe future things going on. So that was really good. I actually liked it. And like I said, the biggest, most slow burning relationship you've ever seen in your life. Now, talking about relationships, it was Penny. She was on a podcast with Will Wheaton, and he was just discussing general things and acting, and people was calling in, and somebody come and offered her a, position to come and try out for a new movie. Now, she was excited to go for it, and Leonard was kind of concerned, and they started kind of bickering and going back and forth about, you're now in a financially stable job, you know what I mean? You're making a decent amount of money. She turned around and said, I'm making 2 times your salary. Then he's kind of pretty shocked, and, they was bickering here and there, and they ended up coming to the, the outcome of, it may be okay she can audition in her spare time, / if she takes days off work and stuff like that to go in and do it. So, it was an interesting episode, to be honest. I did enjoy it. The last few have been really, really interesting, and hopefully you guys enjoyed today's as well. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Hey, would you like to hear some songs I've rewritten to get children interested in the hard sciences? There was a scientist who had a theory, and James Clerk Maxwell was his name. Oh, J-A-M-E-S-C-L-E-R-K space M-A-X-W-E-L-L. And James Clerk Maxwell was his name. Oh,
Cool, Sheldon.
thank you. Yeah, do either of you know Beyonce? I'd love her to get behind it.
Hey.
Hello.
You guys know the new Discovery class missions that NASA's been working on?
Yeah?
Well, they're looking to include a message from Earth in case one of them is encountered by alien life.
All right, you can't breathe our air without an inhaler. He's allergic to earth nuts, but I'm the alien.
Asked to submit a design proposal for the message and its delivery system.
Excellent.
And I was wondering if any of you guys would like to help me do it?
A device capable of delivering information across a wide range of perceptual modalities.
So, the ideal interstellar lingua franca would be haptic.
Ooh, how about a 3D tactile communicator rig for cross-sensory transposition?
Exactly what I expected. 2 people forcing their ideas on me, and only 1 gentleman who could be bothered to ask me what my thoughts were. You two are out. Congratulations, Leonard.
That's well done, it? Innit? That actually does make sense. The fact is, yeah, it's his idea. It's like the time when Leonard come up with his idea for an app, and obviously he just wanted people there to help him make the app he envisaged. And at the end of the day, Sheldon wanted to take all of it over, create it. He wanted to obviously put his hand up to vote Leonard off the team. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I suppose Raj's selection, the way he's done it, worked out perfect.
Hey, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, I'm excited to help.
I would have included the others, but you know exactly what would have happened. They would have taken over the project and bossed us around.
I get it. Just this morning, Sheldon wouldn't let me put almond milk on my grape nuts because he said it was a theoretical nut conflict. Whatever. There's no alphas here, and this is your project. You are in charge. How do you want to start?
I don't know. How do you want to start?
Should we call Sheldon and Howard?
No, we can do this by ourselves.
Great. How do you want to start?
I don't know. How do you want to start?
Sheldon? Sheldon? Sheldon?
I bet that started off as a joke. But by the 3rd one, you realize there was something strangely enjoyable about it. Anyway, if you're looking for Leonard, he's with Kuthrapali.
No, I actually came to talk to you.
How nice.
It's about my acting career.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's not on the list.
Like pharmaceutical sales, it's going great, but I have an audition for a movie, and if I get it, it could screw everything up.
I know exactly what you should do. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you. Earlier today, it was pointed out to me that I tend to force my ideas on people.
You're really not going to tell me?
Nope, that train has left the station. We can play this one of 2 ways. You can say, trains, tell me more. Or you can just look at me like that and I'll start.
He'd tell him anyway, like, look, The only way that she should even consider taking this acting job if she was offered it is if her yearly salary was actually completely covered. So let's just say she made $100,000, yeah, in this pharmaceutical job. This acting gig has to be 100k plus. Ideally 200k, so you got a cushion that if you get this acting job and then you don't get something for another year, you're financially covered. You know what I mean? It's not a massive hindrance. For example, say she took this job and got 300k, so we're going to a bit further now. That's 3 years' salary, and then she didn't get something for a year, but she dipped back and got a job for 70k. Okay, it's 30k less than she was in the pharmaceutical, but she's got 200k more than she would have got, so that it'll obviously offset a couple of years before she can go back up and maybe get another acting gig.
I am making molecular cocktails. This sphere is actually a cosmopolitan. First, take a picture with me.
Why?
Well, Raj and I always talked about learning how to make cocktails like this together, so I taught myself, and I'm putting this on Instagram so he can see it and feel like a turd. Say cheese.
You're grown men. You guys don't have to do everything together.
I know. That's why I'm spending tonight with you.
You're being childish.
No, he is. So I have a dominant personality. In social groupings, I just naturally wind up in charge.
The wrong way, but how many of these little booze balls have you had?
Sheldon takes charge. He just
You don't think I'm a
dominates it.
leader?
I was kidding. Of course you are.
Right. Couldn't change if I wanted to.
Well, you need help cleaning all this up when you're done, or can you do it all by yourself?
All by myself.
There's my big boss man.
Do you know what? I actually know somebody that creates cocktails, and like he just sits in his house and he creates them, and then like companies will come and they'll buy them off him. I know it sounds like daft, but basically he's like a person that creates it. They'll taste it, and if they like it, they'll pay him a fee. You know what I mean? Let's just say $1,000. They'll take the recipe and put it inside their pubs and whatever's. Like, makes a decent wage off it as well. And all he's doing is mixing it. At first, he was absolutely terrible and it was all horrible. But then, obviously, you know, it's more occasionally. You know, you go to Easter, you go to Halloween, you go to Christmas. It's kind of making, like, seasonal cocktails. And it works pretty good.
On the front of the locomotive is a large iron wedge for clearing objects off the tracks.
Okay, Sheldon, let me ask you a question. If I was at a train station and one train could take me to my current job and the other train could take me to an audition for a movie, which train should I get on?
Are you using trains to trick me into giving you advice?
No.
All right, then. You should take a third train where you audition for the movie, but hold off on making a career decision until you have more information.
You are a wise man.
Is that not just obvious?
Penny, who's smarter, the wise man or the person who comes to him for advice?
Oh, I guess you're right. Maybe it is the person who asks.
No, it's the wise man.
Otherwise, he wouldn't be a wise man.
That's why he's called the wise man.
Yeah.
You know how I know that? I'm the wise man. Why didn't you ask Leonard for advice about this?
Ugh, 'cause I already know what he'll say. Well, you shouldn't do it.
Previous attempts to send a message into space, like the Golden Record and Voyager, were heavily criticized.
Well, aliens could only play the golden record if they figured out how to build a record player. It sounds like we need a way to communicate that's simple.
And doesn't require outside machinery to be built to access it.
It's also a problem because we don't even know if the aliens who find this can see.
Bees talk to each other by dancing, whales have their songs.
Penny has about 20 different ways of rolling her eyes that each mean something different.
What it sounds like is what we want is a device that can deliver a message through not only sight, but other senses as well.
The most basic sense that any spacefaring civilization would have to possess is touch. All we have to do is rig up a 3D communication system.
We can totally do that.
I know.
This is great.
You know what else it is?
What?
Exactly what Sheldon and Howard said.
At least he comes to that decision on their own, though.
Eye of the tiger, it's the ear of the bat, it's the whiskers of the catfish and the walrus, and also regarding the bat, it has sonar.
I know you guys are upset, but we've talked about it, and we think it'd be beneficial for you to be part of the project.
Well. Did you hear that, Howard?
But we admitted the idea that you guys came up with was really good.
Now that we're all on the same page, let's get together tonight and work on it.
Get together tonight. Leonard, stop trying to control everything and give poor Raj a chance to come up with what we should do. Go ahead, Raj.
Okay, I think we should do it right now.
Tonight works better for me.
Okay.
Why am I nervous? Maybe it's a good thing.
That's why.
I'm starting to remember.
The thing is, though, it's pretty crazy, isn't it, going to auditions and seeing all those people there. Like, when you actually get the role, then obviously it's amazing, it's all worthwhile. And like I said, prime example, these couple of episodes ago, look how much he was making towards the end. Absolute millions. But going through these scenarios, mate, they must be knocked back consistently, even big actors. You know what I mean? So, like, Jim Parsons now, for example, absolute lead star, this show, made millions, everybody knows him. Sheldon, spin-off, you know what I mean, young Sheldon. But I guarantee he still gets absolutely batted away in auditions. You know, he won't just retire from this and be like, acting done. He'll want to keep his role and do stuff, and he's consistently, no. No matter how big you are, you still don't mean that you're fit for that role. Do you know what I mean? It's mad, really. It's just, the best thing is being a voice actor. It's a perfect thing. You know, your voice can fit any kind of actor. Look at Kevin Hart. He's a good actor, he's a comedian, but he does some voice acting as well. He's that little bunny or something. I can't remember what film it's in. But, like, obviously, the way they make the character, it sticks with the bunny run around and all crazy and that. His voice fits it perfect. And do you know what I mean? It's like Jack Black in Kung Fu Panda. It just works. And it's easy. And you don't even have to compare to anybody else. You just have to fit a character to your voice. And it just works so good.
So I'd like to try a technique where no one gets steamrolled. Respect what was just said by building on it.
Building on that, we should order dinner.
Building on what Sheldon said, I could go for Chinese.
Building on that, there's a new build-your-own pizza place on Colorado.
I saw the menu. They have soy cheese.
Bah, you didn't say building on, you're out. You're out and you're out, I win. Who wants pizza?
Hey, I haven't seen you auditioning in a while. Yeah, I got a job as a pharmaceutical sales rep. You quit acting? Kind of, but now I get to act like inflamed heart is only a mild side effect. I do miss this sometimes. Really?
Because I gotta tell you, I am so sick of the humiliation and being treated like a piece of meat. Wish me luck.
Delivery system for the message. Maybe we should talk about what the message could be.
Well, I think we should show what Earthlings look like. There's a way to appear non-aggressive, but also be able to protect ourselves if necessary. Like smiling and waving with one hand, but the other hand holding the severed head of a tiger.
You want to send a passive-aggressive message out into the universe?
Oh, you mean passive-aggressive, like posting pictures of you and your wife eating cosmopolitan balls that you know belong in my mouth? I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, but you two have strong personalities and always end up taking over.
It's not always.
But what about when we went to Comic-Con and dressed like Jabba the Hutt? You got to be Jabba's head, and I got to be his fat slug butt.
Yeah, like when you took Sheldon to Texas and showed him all around NASA, you didn't even think to ask me and Leonard.
I should have asked you.
And if he does ask you, go. It's amazing.
Wait a minute, Sheldon spent a whole day with James Earl Jones and never told any of us.
I sure did. Oh, my goodness. Well, from Jabba's head to ice cream with Darth Vader, I'm having a heck of a ride. Who's really in charge? The person in charge? Or those who put him in charge?
He's right. If you think about it, we're all in charge.
No, the guy in charge is in charge. Why is everyone so bad at these?
You know, the anxiety, the depression, the negativity. I don't want to feel those things. I want to sell drugs to people who feel those things.
I'm glad you have a new appreciation for your job.
I do. And you know, I don't think I've ever thanked you properly for helping me get it.
Hey, now that you're making some real money, maybe you could take your friend out for a nice thank you dinner.
Sure.
And you probably have to invite your other friend because she overheard you talking about it and it would be awkward for you.
Greetings from planet Earth.
I'd actually be really fascinated to see what alien species actually look like. You know, everybody gets this, when you think of alien, just think of this green person. This is the perception that everybody's kind of made you think of. But, like, it could be anything. Honestly, it could be like that person there with loads of arms, loads of tentacles. It's mad to think about it. And like I said, I'm not a scientist and I don't really look into it or anything. The sea or the sky or the space or whatever. But, like, what I do find kind of pretty impossible is there not to be other life out there. So what I'm actually saying is I do believe there's other people or things living on other planets. You can't, like, I just don't understand how people can only think that Earth is the only place in the entire universe that has some sort of living life form. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be something somewhere. Space is so big. There's so many planets that we can see, so many planets that we can't get to. You know what I mean? That has some sort of life on it. And I mean, I don't think that we'll ever find out, us personally, people listening to this and the people living currently, before we die. I feel like it's going to be like way, 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 way in the future when something's discovered. But imagine being alive for that day when they find out that, you know, extraterrestrial beings, whatever you want to call them, are actually alive on other planets, living and breathing. They may not look anything like us. You know what I mean? It could be something that looks like an animal, a dog. You know what I mean? That's a full-on life form. It could just literally be anything. But right now, every planet or location that we've actually explored and been to has just been kind of dust and rubble. And, you know, they have confirmed that you can potentially live on the moon and stuff like that if you created all these different things in cities. But there's never physically been any life form discovered, and it would be absolutely madness to find out that one day some planet somewhere has got other living beings. I mean, I wish I'm alive for that day when it's found. Okay, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So, Penny did actually go for this acting gig, and, you know, she spoke to Sheldon, who gave her some advice, and I think the advice is self-explanatory, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, don't disregard any opportunity until you've actually gone and then weighed the possibilities and the potential that you can achieve. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point in sitting there saying, I'm not going to go and audition, and not know if you was to audition, how much the salary would be and how beneficial it would be to you? Do you know what I mean? I give an example before, like, if you earned 100k and you got this job and it was 300k, then you could quit your old one, do this one. Even if you're out of work for 2 years, you've got 2 years salary covered while you're working to look for the next job, / you know, you could actually get another job in the meantime on less than 100, and you got the 300, then you got 2 years extra and then additional income. So I don't know. You just got to outweigh the positives. It might be good where you are, but at the end of the day, you work to live. This is the thing that people massively, massively, massively underestimate and do not understand in life. Unless you've got your own startup company, or unless you're in an actual field that you proper love. So, for example, if I was working with animals, like protecting them, saving them, you know what I mean, like just making sure they're all okay, I think I would absolutely love that job. You know, I love animals. I've mentioned it before. Animals over people all day, every day. Now, obviously, usually the salaries are dreadful in those, and it's people who volunteer. So having that as a sustainable living, not really ideal, but the premise is great. If I was a millionaire, I would do that all day. I'd open my own sanctuary. But what I'm saying is, in a normal, general day-to-day people, you work to live. You don't live to work. And what I mean by that is, I go to work Monday to Friday, yeah, to earn money. So then after work and on the weekends, I can have fun with the family, with my girlfriend. We can go on holidays. We can have a good life. We can enjoy it, spend time with our animals, you know, go on dates. I don't go and work because I love it and it's the best thing ever. Now, I do like where I work, but if I was rich, I would not go to work because I would have all the money so that I can do the fun stuff in life that I want to achieve. And that's the thing, you know, if Penny is enjoying the job right now, but she can go and act, which she does enjoy as well, and that's much less than working a 9-to-5 job every single day of the week, get paid a hefty wage and be able to sit back and, you know, do the things that she enjoys doing, then that's an outcome and a possibility that you should consider. And the fact is, if an audition's coming up, then there's no harm in actually going. You're still in your normal job, and then if you get offered the position, you can sit down and outweigh the pros and the cons. So I thought Sheldon gave her the right advice, and I understand where Leonard's been coming from all this time, that she's in sustainable work. But my example there about the salary and the increase and, you know, getting it and then sitting back and then getting another one, it works perfectly as well. Sometimes it's not all just black and white. It's not, oh, you got a good job, never leave. It's like, what can we get out of it? What are the pros, what are the cons? Now, obviously, with him, he's just looking at the cons all the time, and that's why she's gone to Sheldon. But I feel like the advice was sound. She's gone in there, she's done her audition. I don't know if she's going to get a job, but I feel like she might potentially get the opportunity to be offered the position. And then this is where it's going to be interesting, because it will cause some friction between her and Leonard. And it'd be interesting to see the toll it actually takes on them. Also in today's episode, that Raj was coming up with creating a message to obviously extraterrestrial beings. You know, he wants to send it out there, and I feel like his example of why he chose Leonard at the start made perfect sense. He come down with an idea, and then within 5 seconds, it was Sheldon and Howard's idea. Totally disregarded, obviously, Howard and obviously Raj and Leonard, and that left him in a position to say, look, the person that actually let me bounce my ideas, let me talk about it, and not actually interrupted me and took over was Leonard. I want him on my team. Obviously, they come to the conclusion that the same answer that Sheldon and Howard gave them was what they come to, and he brought them back in. But I feel like the whole premise and the point of all of it actually worked out correct and he chose the right decision at first. But another interesting episode, and thanks for checking out the channel today. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.